smaller and smaller, lower and lower power, right?
Yep.
So we got this opportunity that says, hey, could we actually start to embed sensors natively in the buildings that we build? Well, the next question is, yeah, but how would you power them?
Then how do you maintain them?
Yeah, you put a battery, the battery's going to, even long-lasting batteries, they're going to die eventually. 5 years, 10 years, they're going to die, and buildings have to last a long time. The hardwire, oh no, way too expensive. So, native energy harvesting of RF or other high frequencies, right? Seems like, because the power requirements have become so low, it seems like we could use technology like this to implant sensors into a building. When I'm talking about, for example, if I put acoustic sensors in wall cavities, I could listen for pest infestation. So I could hear cockroaches, I could hear termites, I could hear destruction, and I know I don't spray the entire house because that puts caustic chemicals everywhere all the time.
Yep.
I only put it in the one wall cavity where there's a problem because I know where it is now. Or I could embed moisture sensors throughout my walls and my roof and know where the water penetration actually is so I can diagnose the problem electronically with the digital twin of my home. Does that make sense?
Yep, makes sense.
Now, your technology can help with that.
Yeah. So I think, let me explain this first.
All right.
So we are modularizing the electrification. So we are an install-based system. So this system you see here is all the high-power devices and application that is freely moving around, actually. So you can move around with a cell phone charging or a monitor or a laptop. I mean, laptop is a battery, right? But we have a charging stand. And then this lamp as well. Now, the interesting part...
Just so our viewers didn't see that. See this lamp?
Oh, yeah. So if you remove that,
Okay.
you will stop. And then you can turn on. So this lamp has a certain distance, they still work. As you go higher, you will stop working. So there's a very well-defined, we call it power zone. So it is a three-dimensional zone, which is purely magnetic. So it's very safe for the human to be around. So that means you can embed this system into the wall or a ceiling where humans live. So the beauty...
Right, we're going back to 1831 with Michael Faraday when he invented electromagnetism, right? And how electromagnetism works and we can generate power from it.
Exactly. So I think what we do is actually a little bit back to Nikola Tesla time. So he has two inventions. And one invention become what we know about wireless communication today. So all the communication you know is...
But the other was about power distribution.
That's right. So this is following similar to his footstep, actually. So he's doing a lot of resonant electronic using the electric resonance. So this is a magnetic resonance. So it's less interacting with the human body. So the idea is, if you look at this table, so this table, underneath this table is a loop of a wire. So this is a whole technology, which is a loop of a wire. So this loop of a wire, when you enclose to a certain perimeter, it creates a three-dimensional bubble, as we call it. So this can be hidden inside the wall. That means you can have a sensor, which is a wire-free and a battery-free, and then you can continue. You can do a 24/7 continuous monitoring inside the wall, and then you can have hundreds of this sensor. So what you say earlier was true, but you want to have a precision of the location, and also fidelity of your data.
Right, so it allows us to build for the future. We can build a wall structure with hundreds of different sensors measuring acoustics or water or humidity or toxins or mold.
That's right.
And it's all wirelessly powered by an inductive loop.
That's right. And then no battery. The point is no battery.
That's why we say you need to build the future.